call this meeting to order. Roll, please, Mary.
Archer.
Here.
Myers.
Here.
Showalter. Radlin.
Here.
Howard.
Here. Could y'all please stand and join me with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Anybody signed up for a public comment? All right. We'll move into the public hearing with the unfit structure at 2218 Commerce Road, and if there's anybody that needs to talk on that, we've got one up there, and I'm going to call Michael Robinson on the phone. Sure? Okay. We're waiting on Michael Robinson right at the moment. So I'll open this public hearing at 5:01. Building official, Zach?
Have Jack and Francis with us here. They are dealing with the property at 2218 Commerce Road, also known as the Oyo Hotel, as of recent times. Hey Jack, would you or Francis like to explain what is going on?
Yes, I think Francis can explain everything. What's going on so far with the photos inside of it.
Hi, everyone. I think Jack is fully capable of detailing everything that's going on. The only reason I'm here, though, is because there is active litigation ongoing with this particular property. By way of background, Jack owns Ram Hospitality, which is a mortgage holder on this property. Some years ago, he sold the property through Ram to Goodland Hospitality, and these individuals who are behind the particular property just have eventually led it to disarray, unbeknownst to Jack. But that all kind of came into a confluence of a situation here recently after litigation was initiated. We only learned about the condition of the property then. What I could tell you about the litigation ongoing and the property itself, in the first litigation, there is the foreclosure action, which has been filed for a few months now. We are hopeful that it will be resolved here without much more delay. As far as getting the property, transacting somehow within the next month or so, I would say at the latest. I just can't get into the confidential settlement negotiations ongoing. I will tell you that Jack here and his company are taking lead, though, having become now known about this property and trying to get it remedied. I know Jack will be there tomorrow on site to get his eyes on it. First off, he's going to be traveling from Nebraska, and then we have later this week. So I believe a roofer or whoever Jack may retain here to come out there and look at the roof to get it all tarped up and in a condition where it's at least mitigated any further damage or deterioration. The goal, though, of course, would be to get the roof replaced ASAP. We don't have a plan at the moment as far as what that detailed plan, as far as a detailed plan on timeline and all that. But what I can tell you is that I'm hopeful that we will certainly have one within the next few weeks.
Okay. Yeah, because that property is caused us some grief here in the city with vagrants living in it, and we've plywooded up some doors and everything, and it's getting to just be an eyesore here in Goodland, and we need something to be done with it.
Understood.
I just want to make sure that Jack will have the legal stance to be able to make the remedies to the building this week. I know with the litigation and stuff, I just want to make sure he's the one that's supposed to be in there fixing it.
Yeah, so this is what makes it complicated with the litigation going on. As mentioned, Goodland Hospitality is the title holder. We are in the process of getting title back in our name. And when I talked about the plan in a few weeks, that's the time frame we're going to need to get this resolved, to get it back in our name, or at least the process underway. But until then, we have full authority to be in the building by the title holder. And they're fully aware of these steps being taken by Jack to remedy what they caused. So that's as much as I can say as far as legal title. You're right, he's not going to be taking any steps to actually put a new roof on until title's back in his name, but up until then, we could definitely make preparations and other steps required to get us to that point. So we already have plenty of runway behind us.
Is the goal to actually reopen this hotel?
To be 100% transparent, we don't know.
Okay.
Jack needs to get his eyes on it. As mentioned, Jack sold this property years ago to these individuals. He's not been responsible at all for the upkeep, the maintenance,
Okay.
any of it.
Okay.
So tomorrow will be the first. I will say I was driving back from an inspection at the Concordia last week when I received a phone call from Jack for the first time. We both learned of this issue. So we're moving as swiftly as we can, and I know Jack is. So we just need a. We certainly appreciate this group's concerns. I know Jack's concerned. I know Jack wants to get it fixed. We just have to let these things play out in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, Jack is working on seeing what exactly is the issue, what the repairs would be, or the next steps. But ideally, we don't believe the structure. I mean, just without seeing it, but we don't believe the structure will be one in which it's been compromised. So something will be done with the property. We just don't know what those exact details are yet.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'd like to have a plan, but I know how that goes within building and seeing everything. You've got to see everything to put a plan together to go ahead with what you guys need to do, and I understand that. The sooner the better we can get a plan back to us will be great helpful on what we need to do. And in my opinion, I don't want to see the building tore down. It needs to be used. It's a good location and it's a good property. It just needs to be everything taken care of on the inside and the roof and everything to make it safe for everybody.
I think Jack's committed to making its best use be in place, so.
Right.
Who I need to see tomorrow to check out the property inside?
Probably our building inspector.
Yeah, just my
Zach.
phone number is on the email I sent you guys.
Yes.
And I will also send you a copy of the resolution of anything that perspires tonight later on after the public hearing, so that way you guys are all on the same page as well.
We'd be happy to come back at your next meeting to update you on any steps and actions we've taken and any foreseeable plan at that point.
Do they need to contact the police chief to actually get in the building?
I'll get a hold of them for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate you guys wanting to come back to the next meeting to give us a heads up what's going on. That keeps us in the midst of everything that's going on, because we get questions from the public all the time, what's going on out there, and that's just so we can pass that on. So any other questions for Jack? Frank?
Good.
All right, we're good with you guys.
No, I was just saying, we have to call next.
Yep, all right, now we're gonna call Michael Robinson.
If you guys want to hang out for this, Jack and Francis, you can. We're going to call Michael and kind of get his side of the story as well, but that's up to you guys if you want to hang out or not.
Yeah, we'll sit tight.
Michael? Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Hello, is this Michael? Are you there?
I am.
Okay, this is JJ with the acting mayor of the city of Goodland, and we're in the public hearing about the property out at 2218 Commerce Road, and you're on speakerphone with everybody that is in here, all the commissioners. Zach, do you have any questions for him?
Do you just want to give us a rundown of what your plan is, Michael?
No, excuse me, I'm having a hard, I may have to connect. Can you repeat that? I apologize.
He just wants to know what your plan is for the property and where you're going with this.
Well,
We're having some issues hearing you on the line too.
oh, darn it. I'm remote. I'm not sure what I can do about
Okay,
that.
you are pretty good right there.
Don't move.
Anyone?
So what do we do? Yeah, we're still having some issues.
Hello?
Yeah, we're here.
Okay, yeah, I was just gonna say that the property is actually owned by a company that my brother owns, and I've managed the property, so I am very familiar with what's happening. I know that he's been involved in a legal process that I think he's exhausted all of his avenues. I think he's pretty much consigned to the fact that he's gonna lose this property. And I think he's ready. I know he told me he had spoken with his attorney the day before yesterday about just coming up with a mutual release and probably just turning this property over to the mortgage holder. That's all I know at this point. I know Rick would maybe know more, but that's all I know. So we're not going to be involved in the property much longer.
Okay. That's something, I guess.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Nope. City manager?
I know we were there for a couple of days. We've tried to do a little bit of cleanup and that, but yeah, it had some vandalism. It had some issues, and of course the weather issues that we were trying to resolve through some other legal means that fell through with our insurance coverage. I know that's also taken a toll. So the property's not in a great place. So.
Right. All right, I guess, when we get further through our agenda, there'll be a resolution, and I'll have Zach, our building official, email that to you too, so you have what's went on there.
Sure. We appreciate it. And again, like I say, and I know Rick. I think Rick's attorney told him he didn't need to come to this meeting, but I know you have my number, so I'm more than happy to talk with you. But I just, yeah, I know Rick he had plans, he was trying to do something, he actually had some investors that he had talked to. He was thinking that things with the insurance would go different, he was thinking that things through this foreclosure process might go differently, but I think that he has come to the conclusion in talking with his attorney in the last conversation they had just, I think it was a day ago, that those are exhausted now and there's really not much more that he can do.
Right, so,
He's going to end up, I think he's in the place now where he wants to try and make things as easy for the takeover by the mortgage holder as possible. I don't think he's going to fight anything anymore. I think he's probably going to sign whatever release he needs to and move on. So that's what I'm aware of. And again, if I've misspoken, it's not out of any malintent on my part. It's just what I understand based upon my conversation with the owner, Rick. Okay?
all right.
So, okay?
That's what we needed to hear, I guess, and
I wish I had more to tell you. I
Right.
wish I had more to tell you. I wish it was better news, but that's where we're at. I know that's where Rick's at, okay?
okay, sounds good, and appreciate your time, and like I said, he'll be emailing that, so.
Yeah, please do, please do. And you said Trent's gonna be sending that?
Zach.
Oh, Zach, you
Yep,
said Zach,
yep,
okay.
yep.
All right, well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I have a lot of names.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Those are the easier ones.
Trent. All right, so is there any other information or anything other than needs to be said at this hearing? All right, I'll call this hearing to a close at 5:15.
Thank you, Jack and Francis. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll send you an email.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'll be in touch tomorrow. Thanks.
Thank you. There's nobody for public comment.
Well, there,
Is
Is
there,
there?
I don't think there's a, I don't think Bruce is here.
Okay, so there we go. And I guess we'll move on to number 4, presentations and proclamation. This is for the Western Kansas Child Advocacy Center. Yeah, sure.
I noticed my full name on it, like that's different, but yeah.
Don,
Don, just to,
for the 2026 budget request.
I know it's late in the evening, I don't want you, there's a lot of syllables in there. Again, folks, my name is Don with the Western Kansas Child Advocacy Center. So to kind of touch base on what we do out here in the community with the work that we do, we are the only mobile child advocacy center in the state of Kansas. So essentially what our agency helps to provide is, first and foremost, we kind of become involved right after a report of child abuse has been made. We work closely with DCF and law enforcement to first schedule an interview with the child. And it's essentially, it's one of these things, where the world's kind of been lately. Children are told not to talk to officers. We're not that. We're the agency with the fun toys, the therapy dogs kind of spilling out of the vans, that kind of thing. We're there to at least just sit and have a conversation with these children. We do work very closely with law enforcement, DCF, any other entities that might be in charge and tasked with that child safety. The goal, essentially, like we're kind of talked about our interview, our goal for our interviews is one interview. That, first and foremost, not to re-traumatize that child. And also, we wouldn't want them to feel like they've done something wrong. So to kind of help to prevent re-traumatizing the child or them recanting whatever their statement may be, it's almost like a round table. DCF, law enforcement, other entities are there on the bus or on our mobile units while the interviewers are speaking with the child, just to kind of get a good insight of what's kind of going on in the home. And then at that point in time, those entities can kind of decide, okay, what's our next step? What's our next step of action? Does the child need to be pulled from the home? Do we have an action plan? Okay, this is what we need done. That kind of, to essentially start that process to kind of keep that child safe. We do also provide advocacy for the family, whether that would be assistance with housing, assistance with the applications. We do have some advocates that are bilingual, that are able to translate in Spanish, or we utilize a translation line in the event that we don't have a staff member that speaks that particular language as well. Assisting county attorney with court advocacy as well too. Whether it just be, hey, I'm not able to get a hold of this family, would you folks mind reaching out? Absolutely, they've got a lot on their plate, so we're able to kind of take that off their shoulders. Or if it's, hey, this child's looking to testify, we just kind of, let's just go through the courtroom, let's just have a look, let's just let at least this child know, hey, this is what you're going to expect. There'll be 12 individuals sitting here, be gentlemen appear in a row, the accused will be here as well. That way, court's intimidating for an adult, let alone for a child. And right now, kind of with nationwide statistics are stating about 95% these children know or have have had some sort of relationship with this individual. So it's not stranger danger necessarily. It's folks, unfortunately, these children know and have some sort of relationship with. They might still care about this individual. Our agency, we're sitting at about 98%. Is where we're sitting. That these children have had some sort of relationship with this individual. The families have had some sort of relationship with them as well.
So to kind of continue our services as well too, after essentially court is said and done, we're able to still provide therapy for these children as well too. With you folks kind of being here in Goodland, our closest office is Colby. That's why these mobile units are so key. 30-minute drive, 40, 45, 42, was it sitting at something like that?
Somewhere.
Depends, I suppose, on the day and how heavy your foot is. So that's 40 minutes up, an hour for the session. That's almost a half day's work. Unfortunately, a lot of our families that come through our services are single parent, and that's a gas bill, that's a light bill, that's a heavy burden to carry. So that's luckily we're able to have these mobile units. We're able to park outside, whether it be school, pull the child for 45 minutes, an hour, or set up at a park, library, things like that. We have set designated locations that we've kind of we've worked with law enforcement. This is safe locations to kind of have our bus kind of deal to kind of keep providing those services. And also, the more services we can kind of provide in a home as well too, the less likely that child is to be re-victimized. And there's just more. It's just they're hopefully able to open up and talk about the trauma, and then sometimes, unfortunately, other cases seem to open up through therapy as well too, and those are reported and kind of addressed as we go. Out here in this area, when I say this area, Sherman County, looks like we have been out in this area last year, 2024, 17 forensic interviews in the last year. 138 calls to advocacy for 27 children, 7 medical exams, 185 therapy sessions to 16 children, and also court advocacy one time out in this area. We also do have one of our mobile units is a medical unit. So in the event that the allegations have any sort of sexual allegations, sexual abuse of the child, we're able to facilitate that particular exam as well too. And we're very fortunate, we're very lucky to have a doctor on staff that's able to facilitate that. Larger counties that are kind of transitioning with the ownership of the hospital or management, that kind of thing, we're having to still send folks an hour away for those services. So it's very crucial that we're able to kind of at least get out there, get to these areas, get out to these rural communities, and be able to kind of facilitate those examinations as well too. So if I could, for your consideration for 2026 budget, if I request $1,000 for fuel and upkeep for our mobile units.
We've done this in the past, haven't we?
Yes.
Yeah, so. And it was for 1,000 too, if I remember. Was it for 1,000?
I think it was 1,500.
1,500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have a problem with the 1,500.
I think we stay at 15.
Stay
Yeah,
at
stay
15
at
for you. I appreciate what you guys do, and the numbers you read off are way too high for me. So, I mean, children are precious, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah, personally speaking, as someone with a tougher childhood, what you do is appreciated.
I'm sure we'll relay that to our folks that are doing a lot of work, a lot of the heavier lifting. So that's
Right.
I'm fortunate enough to work with some amazing individuals. So
Yep.
I've been in some interesting work environments, and I don't think I've felt more accepted than I have in this group of folks, and that says a lot, because in my head it's like, okay, I know when these children are coming to our services, they want to be heard. They was like, okay, I feel comfortable to speaking with these folks. So it's been interesting. It's been a journey. Like I said, I've been in some interesting work environments, and this is by far the most comfortable and accepting in quite some time. So,
Right.
but it says a lot about the folks I work with. So
Right.
I'm very fortunate. So.
Yep, all right. So we'll more than likely do the 1,500 for the next budget.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
All right. Consent agenda items. A, 3-03, 2025 commission meeting minutes. Any comments or on those? I'll be seeking a motion.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda item A.
I have a motion by Commissioner Ridland. Do I have a second?
Second?
Got a second by Commissioner Myers. Any further comments or concerns? Roll, please, Mary.
Redlin,
Yes.
Showalter, Myers,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Howard.
Yes. Moving on to consent agenda items number B, appropriation ordinance 2025-06, 2025-06A, and 2025-P06. Any comments on those or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda item B.
I got a motion by Commissioner Redlin.
A second.
Got a second by Commissioner Archer. Any further comment? Roll.
Myers,
Yes.
Showalter, Redlin,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Howard.
Yes. And then we're moving on to number 6, ordinance and resolutions. And that is resolution 2025-13, unfit structure at 2218 Commerce Road. And that's a resolution put in front of you. Zach, got any further comments?
Unlike our normal housing structures, I did put this one at 90 days, especially since they're going through the litigation process. I felt like that was more than fair for them to come up with a time frame of a game plan and what all's gonna occur, so we'll bring it back at the 90 days if you guys are okay with that, or if you feel like it should be something different. That's up to you guys.
Well, we can always probably extend it if they've got something going that,
They were actually fixing.
yeah,
Just like the 1004 Kansas that we did at last meeting.
right.
So your calls have been to this Rick and not to the folks we had on the phone that you've been trying to reach out to, or who have we been reaching out to?
Robinson.
Robinson?
Michael, yeah.
And so not the people that just said they found out?
No, because
Okay.
they aren't on the title.
Okay, okay. I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it needs to be pushed forward. That way it'll get something going out there.
I agree. So would you rather have 30 days? Is that what you're
The
saying?
90's fine in my opinion still, to give
Okay.
them time, but like I said, they'll probably be back at the next meeting.
They'll probably be back here shortly.
Yeah.
And since they just found out about it,
Mhm.
or,
Or in the process of taking the property back.
Okay.
Legalities are tough.
I think there's been information, but they are taking actions now,
okay.
so.
Boy, do we have
So do we have to,
we need to approve the ordinance.
Need a motion to approve the ordinance, or the resolution.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-13.
I've got a motion to approve resolution 25-13.
13. Second.
Got a by Brooke Redlin, and I got a second by Myers. Any other comments? Roll, please.
Archer,
Yes.
Redlin,
Yes.
Showalter, Myers,
Yes.
Howard.
Yes. Moving on to formal actions. Quick claim deed to S4C Inc. for the child care project.
This is, we discussed this at last meeting. This is the result, and this is just the formal approval of the quitclaim deed to Sherman 4Cs. With the reverter clause if it doesn't occur within the time frame specified, which is 4 years.
I think that's, it's a good thing to have that property going somewhere that can get a lot of use out of it. I know childcare in the city is at a shortage at the moment, and I think it's a good thing to go ahead and do. Any other comments? I'll make a motion to approve the quitclaim deed to S4Cs Inc. for the child care project.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Ridlin. Any other comments? Roll, please.
Showalter, Redlin,
Yes.
Myers,
Yes.
Archer,
Yes.
Howard.
Yes. Moving on to item B, the MOU with Sherman County for the use of the police range.
This is just a simple agreement between the police department and the sheriff's, well, the city of Goodland and the sheriff's department. I actually should let Police Chief Earhart speak to this. I do have one modification to the agreement that's within it, but
Yeah, it's just, Kenton was able to build us a new range. I've been here with the city for, I can't remember, 13 years, I think. And this is the first range we've ever had that is actually a really good range. Hats off to Kenton and his crew. It's awesome. So they did a lot of work out there. So I offered Sheriff Mann the opportunity to use the range, and obviously he was interested. So this is just a MOU stating that they'll have insurance for their people as required by Mary. And I think they've done everything they needed to do.
It's required by the city.
it's not required by the city clerk.
Required by somebody. So, yeah, this is just the official MOU to make that happen.
The one modification, County Clerk Ashley Manis stated that the insurance limit is beyond the tort limit that's required. So 9A will have it as a 500,000 instead of $1 million. But that's just because that's what the tort limits are.
Right, yeah, I mean, it's nice to see the police department, sheriff's department getting along and to where we can work with different stuff and back and forth instead of just having two of everything for the city of Goodland. So I'm in favor of the MOU. So we need do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve the MOU for the use of the City of Goodland Police Department's firearms range between the Sherman County Sheriff's Office and the City of Goodland.
I have a motion by the Commissioner Myers. Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a second by Commissioner Archer. Any more further comment? Mary, roll please.
Myers.
Yes.
Archer.
Yes.
Showalter. Redlund.
Yes.
Howard.
Yes. All right. Moving on to discussion items. A, base grant reminder of grant funds. Kent?
There is a remainder of the grant award that was given to the city. The project is complete with Miller Construction, but in the closeout, Mary, as city clerk, had been communicating with the Department of Commerce and mentioned that from the original award, which I have the numbers provided to you on the CCCF, that there's $50,000 remaining, $50,745.05 remaining. And the State Department of Commerce was encouraged, probably stronger words than that, as far as please do not return any of the funds on the grant fund, probably because it can't be used for anything else. It's designated. So if there was anything within this, we spoke among staff and also spoke with Andrew with EBH Engineering regarding what could be done. And Andrew, you might describe the option number one regarding the dirt work on the southwest corner of the industrial park.
I actually tripped myself. I just wanted to blame him. So yeah, option one is part of the project, part of the industrial park that was already developed. We went ahead and dug out a retention pond to address stormwater. In the southwest corner of the property, there's currently a detention pond there. As things would grow, as businesses would come in, you can kind of see it there. It's that green little square in the bottom left of the industrial park. We did not touch that, just for the fact there hasn't been anything else out there, or there's nothing out there currently. So I told Kent and spoke with Mary too about this, that that is going to be a need in the future as the industrial park develops. we're gonna have to find a way to take care of the stormwater concerns, and with these extra funds, that was one of the options we discussed, was to go ahead and dig that thing out to the size that it needs to be, instead of leaving it how it is and dealing with it after the fact. So if we had these extra funds, that was one of the options I'd come up with that we could use that for.
Sounds good.
So, yeah.
Where would we put the dirt from that?
Probably spread it out in the middle. Or, if we see any other low-lying areas, what we're going to have to do is we'll end up probably putting it out for bids. There's a handful of contractors, dirt contractors, that I can reach out to and get bids on for the work. But yeah, spread it somewhere around the area. You never know who's going to build up what, how high,
Right.
And so just put it at a place that's readily available, and that middle's kind of right where it says industrial loop. That is kind of a lower lying area, so we could just throw it there and I think it'd be okay.
And we'd make it probably quite a bit bigger than what it is.
Yeah, we'd probably double it in size at least, if not triple it in size.
Okay.
So right now it's probably 5 to 6 feet deep, and we'd want to go to probably 10 or 12 and then make it wider. What we'll do is work with the dollars that we have available.
Right.
That way we're not overshooting things and
It really doesn't have an exit of that pond.
yeah, that's the
Well,
thing, is everything out there silted in, the ditch that it was supposed to drain to at the railroad silted in, so we really have to make it big enough to be able to handle multiple storm events, which is what we did with that other one. It still does have kind of an outlet, but
Right.
yeah, that's kind of what we did there.
I mean, that sounds good to me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm all for the second option of the second entryway, but I agree that I think it goes out of the scope of this. That's something a little farther down the road that we
Right.
can tackle.
Well, the timing also might come into play.
Yeah.
Where it might need to be done before then, but that will require a lot of other factors.
There's
in play.
legal aspects
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
KDOT aspects, and getting their permission to do something along those lines too. And yeah, option one's definitely the quicker option.
Right.
And they both need done. That's
Right.
not.
Right.
So.
I think it's consensus that we get a bid for that.
Yeah.
We'll work it out.
Yep. We'll proceed forward.
And the next one was to set a date for the work session for strategic planning. And I think we're just going to table that since Jason is absent for today.
Take a motion to table.
Do I have a motion to table that?
I make a motion to table the date for the work session.
I have a motion by Commissioner Archer. Do I have a second?
Second?
Second by Commissioner Myers. Any other comments or questions? Roll, please.
Breglin.
Yes.
Archer.
Yes.
Myers.
Yes.
Showalter. Howard.
Yes. Moving on to city reports, city manager.
Included in your packet was manager memo as well as the month-end financial report and police monthly activity report. I would like to thank the efforts of all the various city crews that ended up getting involved with the incident on Friday.
Definitely.
Most of the police department was involved, and the street crews were involved, and then even electric crews got involved with electric for the shelter they were open, emergency shelter they were opening up at the Church of Christ, and that ended up having to be moved back to the Methodist Church. But the electric crews got that taken care of, so but appreciate all that. We have on here the spring cleanup. We are scheduling that for the May 1st and May 2nd. It's usually done the first week of May, but that's the scheduling we have at this time. And just let you know about that and let the public know. And that's all I have at this time.
Any other questions for our city manager? All right, we'll go to Commissioner's report. I'll start down here on my right with Commissioner Hartzer.
I want to second what Kent said about Friday. It's a tough situation, and I want to thank everybody who helped. And if there's anything needed by any of us, to let us know. I'm sure we'd all be happy to help.
Commissioner Myers.
Same, wanted to thank everybody. I know I can't really imagine, it was more tough than I can even imagine what you guys all had to go through. And I just want to say my thoughts and prayers are with everybody, even to this day, with what they had to see and deal with.
Commissioner Riddle.
Yeah, I'll echo that. I saw just a lot of the Facebook posts. I wasn't able to get out there, but I'm grateful for all of you people that went out and you went out of your way to go help all these random strangers that were just passing through. Thank you guys for going out and trying to give as much comfort as you could and get people where they needed to go and whatever else they needed. There was a lot that happened that day, so thank you guys.
All right, yeah, my report is, I concur with all what the commissioner said and the city manager. I appreciate all the hard work that everybody put in for that incident. It was a travesty, and it's really turned some people's lives, even the people that worked the accident. And is there anything that we can provide if our staff needs some help dealing with that?
They had, Chief Earhart can provide an answer. They already had one set up, and then they will be continuing with that.
Yeah. 133 Foundation came Sunday for the defusing, and then they'll be back on in 2 weeks for the debriefing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they have that available, and I don't know if there's any other resources through the city. I think should be an EAP. So, if need be.
Right, yeah, I just from seeing the pictures and all the carnage out there, it has to be rough. I mean, nobody expects to see any of that. They don't want to see that. And I applaud everybody that helped out, even if you were behind the scenes taking sandwiches out to the crews that were out working and everything. I applaud everybody that was involved in that. I was out of town at that time, and I applaud everybody for doing that. And with that being said, I would accept a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Redlin. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Myers. All those in favor say
Aye.
aye.
Aye.